This is an exemplar for task number 2 of CR370. Now, it asks you to write a unit plan, and what I'm really asking for is you to make it really integrated. A couple of features that stand out about this exemplar. One is the integration of your cross-curricular literacies and particularly your Christian worldview throughout the whole document. It develops towards a logical assessment task, and also the 5E model. The 5E model shows some real clear developmental sequences of complexity, and we're going up the Bloom's tree, so to speak. Another key feature is that within each lesson, they still have the engage, explore, and review. A number of students have submitted the assignments and say, oh, I only have to put an outline of the lesson. That's sure. However, they lose sight of the structural aspects of their organisation. Is it individual? Is it group work? Is it class work? They lose the structure of the phases of each lesson, not just the 5E phases. So let's go through and have a look at some strengths that are here. This is an HD level. So it talks about the unit, where it comes from, the strand, opportunities to engage in cross-curricular, and expands upon that. Didn't need to talk about the 5E phase, but it tells me that this person's on top of it, and it also includes the Christian embedment. So in the rationale, it's linking all the things that the task is asking it to do. What is it? Why? Integration of cross-curricular literacies, the 5E model, and the Christian worldview. So that's straight up a very extensive and comprehensive. The intended learning outcomes, again, are well done. We have content descriptors, science understanding, science human endeavour, science inquiry, and so on, all the aspects of science inquiry, digital design technology, and digital technology. So they've covered the whole STEM range. In a similar way, the general capabilities are covered here. Critical thinking, digital, numeracy, literacy, etc. So the whole range is talked about, and I think showing me very clearly that these things are part of what they do, and that aligns with your rationale. Now, the summative task that tells me enough detail what it is, a description, and this is what it's got: some deliverables. It's got a goal to it, although it could be slightly less if I'm going to be critical. This is some of the detail of it. So it's asked for a moderate task, and I think this is well and truly on about the right pitch and level. Formative assessment, we can see is also integrated. Know, do, and value, going through. I think it's extensive. My criticism, perhaps there's too many. There could have been slightly condensed to slightly less, although, the value ones is about right. So it could have been slightly less. Sorry, going to 14 is probably too many. Now I want to have a look here that you see that we have going on here a real developmental sequence. So engage. We get them to explore and to use things, and we see students are talking about it. They're looking at things, investigating things. Explore, now it gets right into rotational activities. So they're really doing some group work here. So you can see that's developing, and an explain is a lot more of, where's the phase? Explain, giving a lot more of the why now. So we've done the experiment. What did you think about it? What happened here? So you see that throughout the developmental phase. And notice these symbols are using the God is Big story. So we see a link there, we've got a link there, and every time we see it, we see a link. So in other words, it's throughout each phase. We have something in terms of a Christian embedment. On the right-hand side, it's cut off a little bit in the video, you've got rotational activities, you've got worksheets that are here, you have some discussion, participation, yes, not just relying on participation, discussion, research journal throughout. So you've got formative things, the Kahoots coming up. So you've got a range of formative assessments along the way. Now let's have a look and pick one as an illustrative example, how each lesson has, lesson 1, an engage phase. So we look at the video. They're exploring some essential questions that are going on here. They've got a display around the classroom, and they're reviewing it. It's a Christian bed. Again, lesson 2, and so on. We're seeing the same area, and we've got group activities. Now you see how it's highlighted. So I know that I'm in a phase here, and you've got group activities. I'm doing group work now. Some students have just said, group activities, and I have to really find out is this individual or group, and it's in the middle of a paragraph. Make it really clear. Like another teacher could pick this up and run with it because it's so clear. So spread out your work, use headings, insert information as you go. And you see that clarity all the way through. Now let's then skip a little bit towards the end to illustrate another thing. So here's the lesson plan. Again, it's got all the phases appropriately. It's got student activities, it's got student output. They have to do something, whereas some lessons are more of that do and discuss, but not really what's your outcome. It's got a big story link through it here. Students are going to present in their conclusion phase. So it's got really good clarity about what it's doing. Feedback-wise, I think they use the form well. And notice how I have used it. And that's the longest part of this, because it's saying, okay, I've reflected upon it, and this is how I've used it. So, an exit card and so on. So I did something with it. I put a Kahoot in, and we saw that, for example. So again, it's very good responsive practice and in terms of reflective practice. The appendices here show me really clearly that it's well resourced. Now you can't put those in above, but you can sort of appendices. Some things can be embedded. This is probably too big to. And I see the QR codes. That's a really good thing. The kids will get highly involved with that because it's just so easy and clear. And the worksheet's got a high level. You can see it's got good clarity, and it's a quality worksheet that they're doing. So I'm saying, yep, you've got all these things happening. You've got a high quality and a comprehensive unit outline, which is well resourced, which has got integration of all the cross-curricular literacies. We've got Christian embedment throughout what it is. So I'm thinking this is the best sample I've seen over the last 3 years. So congratulations to the student who submitted it, but take the learning from this into your own practice.